Welcome everyone. This is the first lesson or session of Python lesson. So today we will talk about, I think it's better if I just write some notes.md. I will write here. We will talk about sets and we will talk about tuple and we will talk about dictionary and then we will talk about higher order functions. Maybe if it's not very visible, I will make it a bit bigger. Yes, yeah, so I will start from set and then tuple and dictionary and high order functions. Yeah, okay, so as you remember, this is our project folder. I am putting the codes in a separate week. So yeah, I think I prefer to create a separate folder of week 4, and I think I want to take this also here because it doesn't make sense. So here, so was the first lesson, but I think guys, because we have these 30 days of Python, so I will follow the materials from there. Whenever I forget some concepts, this should be your reference material. It's really good. So for instance, sets, you come here and you get everything you need. So let's start by defining what a set is actually. Yeah, I think in mathematics lesson, you know what a set is, yeah? Maybe if I have to draw something, I will show you. Okay. I think circle is good here. It allows me to do some, why the color is white. Okay. Draw something.
I can't see you drawing anything.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, and now I think at least you can see that.
Yes.
There are some drawings, but you don't see them. I can move this. Okay, can I duplicate this? Okay, whatever. So you may have some values here. The universal set 1. Maybe you have 2. Maybe you have 3. And you may have 4. You may have 5. Yeah, so let's see, this is set A, right? And you may have another set B somewhere. Oh, please help me. Not that way, so I have to move it a bit. For instance, yeah, we can make this, and I can call this actually set A, set B, I mean. Okay, so let's add also different value for this one. 6, maybe 7 or 8. Is it familiar to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is very familiar to everybody. So how many elements does set A have?
5.
Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many elements does element B have?
5.
5. Okay. So what is the union of A and B?
3, 4, 5.
The union.
Sorry, 7.
The union is actually 7. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means mixing. We mix values. For instance, if we have also here 4, and maybe again another value, now how many elements A and A union B has? Because when we join or when mix sets the repetition, we don't count the repetition, right? So it will remain the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We ignore this one. Yeah. But most of the time, actually, even set, it doesn't have repeated elements even. It shouldn't have, at least in Python, it shouldn't have repeated element. So I can remove the 4. But just you can take just joining or union is a mix of two sets. I was trying to remove that. Where is the oh yeah, anyway, undo. So what's the intersection of A and B?
3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5. Yeah. So what's the symmetric difference of A and B? Symmetric difference, I think they call it A without B union B without A. So this is symmetric difference of A and B. So A without B union B without A. So A without B is 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2. B without A. B without A, that means 6, 7. 6, 7, but we don't need this number. I couldn't manage to delete, but forget about this number. So the symmetric difference of this is actually 1, 2, 6, 7. Again, maybe A without B means the elements of A without B. So this part, only this part. And B without A means only this part. Great. Now we will implement this using Python. Clear all my drawings. That is good. So as you can see, also you can read here. Still am I in the writing mode? So okay, let me take you back to your elementary or higher school mathematics lesson. That means the setting, the mathematics definition of a set can be applied also in Python. Yeah. So sets a collection of items or data of an order and an indexed distinct elements. Have you seen here? Distinct. So we don't allow repetition in the list. In Python, set is used to store unique items and it's possible to find union, intersection, difference, symmetric difference. Actually, difference means A without B or B without A, something like that. And symmetric difference is actually the union of A without B, union B without A. Subset, superset, and disjoint set. Okay, so let's write here by creating a file. I call it sets.py. So I think it's better to start from a number, right? We can start nums, or maybe nums set1 is good. Set1 is good. So this is, I think it's first if I start by empty set. This is how empty, you can call it even empty set. This is how we create an empty set, like this. So easy. And then let's print the value of empty set. Empty set is just it could be anything, so it's not a custom, it's not a built-in. So as you can see, it's empty. Or you can just create something like this. This is also empty set. Yeah. Great. So to check if it's like, you can type empty. Oh, I think I made a mistake. So how do I make that? Syntax. Yeah, I think we can. We can create only this way. So that this is not an empty set. It's a dictionary, an empty dictionary. Okay. So let's now create a. As you can see, it is a type set. Yeah. So now you know how to create an empty set. Now let's create set 1, and let's add value 0, 1, 2. This is a set actually. How many elements does this set have?
3.
Is that my... Yes, I need interaction, guys. I really feel good when you interact with me. That's how I know if you're following me or if you got it. Great. As you said, it's 3. Okay. And we can also find the length of the set like this and check. It should be 3, as you said. So it's similar to list. Okay. Then we can add also additional this, for instance, set. We use the add method, add, and we can add 3. If you see now, print set 1. What are you expecting in the list? In the set? You should expect something like this. So we can add. Okay, I think I prefer also to follow this material, creating. We can create like this. This is empty, and we can create. We did that. For instance, another example, fruits. Yeah, you just have a fruit here. We have, as you can see, and then maybe you might like to add also fruits. Add maybe what's not there. Or maybe a lemon. There it's a lemon, maybe lime. So print fruits. Have you seen? Now we managed to add the lime. Have you seen where it was added? Have you seen the order? Yeah.
In alphabetic order. Even no, because banana.
Okay, so if you remember the definition here, we said that sets the collection of unordered and unindexed, it doesn't have any order and index.
So that means every time you want to print the
Yes,
set, it's changed. Okay.
it changes. So you have to be sure that there is no order, there is no index when it comes to set. So we can't also target it by index, okay? No, we don't. Good. So this definition is good, right? So good to notice. Accessing items. Can we access the items? We can use loop to access the items. But let's see how we can access the items. For instance, you can see the loops, the fruits, right? For loop for fruit in fruits print fruit. We can iterate those, as you can see, and you can modify it if you want to uppercase, for instance. Yeah, so you can use. And another to know also if something is in the fruit, for instance, to check if something, some item or some element is in the set. For instance, do we have apple here? No. Let's see first. Let's see, orange. Yeah, orange and fruits. Is it true or false? Oh, sorry.
False.
Why?
Sorry, it's actually there. I haven't got it in my own list, so it's a false in my code. But yeah, it's true.
Okay, I think I should drag it here. Yeah, it should be true, I think, yes. Let's try it and we should get true. Yeah, true. How about if we try to check an apple, because I don't see at least apple in the set, right? Maybe I don't know if you see, but I don't see an apple here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's false. There's no apple in the fruits list. Of course, an apple is a fruit, but we didn't add it. We didn't add in the. Okay, that's one way of checking if something exists. Yeah, so using in membership, they call it membership. If an item is a member of that list or a set or a tuple, actually, it works even for a dictionary. We will come to that. Adding items, we have seen that. And updating, like for instance, if you want to add more items at once, you can use the update. Let's see, for instance, we have banana, orange, mango, lemon, and lime, and I want to add lots of fruits at once. Yes. What fruit do you want to add? At least I want to add avocado, maybe papaya, and watermelon, if it's, I don't know, watermelon, and another fruit, something which comes to it is enough for example. So let's try. Yeah, but to know the result, we have to print, right? Fruits, and you do the printing. As you can see now, we have list of papaya, orange, mango, banana, watermelon, lemon, avocado, and lime. Yes, great. So you just use update, and as you can see, you should put it as in a list. Yeah, you should provide this argument as in a list. Okay, so we can also remove items using the remove method. And yeah, so for instance, I want to remove, which do you want to remove?
Watermelon.
Okay, someone doesn't like watermelon here. fruits that remove watermelon. Yes, it's just a big crazy fruit, so it doesn't even look like a fruit. It's a pumpkin or something. Okay, so we want to remove this. So now, if you see your list, it should be what?
Fruits.
With S.
Yes, thank you. Yes, yes, set free from watermelon. How about if we try to remove our apple fruit? Yeah, I know, but I'm saying this just deliberately. Let's remove our apple, you know? You should say something, guys. Do we have apple?
Oh, yes.
Yes, actually we have an apple. You...
We don't have.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have an apple. Yes, I was checking here. Yeah, we don't have an apple. Yes, that's true. So if I'm trying to remove now, what's going to happen? Tell me, guys. Do you have an expectation?
A traceback.
What?
A traceback. I mean, an error.
An error. It raised an error. Yes. Let's try. Have you seen? Yes. But now, guys, when something like this happen, don't be afraid. Just get closer and read it. And the feedback you get actually here is really good. Have you seen? Key error. That means Apple, it's not there. So that means this method is not a very good method if the item is not in the list, because it's a crash. Your application will crash if this happens. So the best way to use this, Apple in fruits, and then first you have to check before you do that. Something like this. What is wrong with it? Fruits. Undefined variable, which one?
You need if maybe before apple.
Yes. Yeah, if apple in fruits, first we have to check. Now there will not be any problem. Have you seen? Your application is running smoothly. If there is apple, it will be removed. If there is no apple, there will not be any problem to your application. So another best way, actually, also you can use discard. You can instead you can also use discard fruit dot discard and then apple. This doesn't raise an error. This doesn't raise an error. Let's see if it's discarding this to really know that it's discarding. Let's discard another fruit. Which do you want to discard? I know everybody doesn't like, maybe papaya. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so now, as you can see, it works. It's papaya is not here, as you can see. If I add something also, like, it's not raise any error. So instead of remove, you can use also discard. If you use discard, you don't have to write an if condition, something like this. Great. Is everything clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Can you type 1 if everything is clear so far? Because Okay, great. It says also here, pop also removes the last element from the set, but I'm afraid. Let's see. Let's see countries. You know the countries I write. So Finland, and Sweden, and then Denmark, Iceland. I found this data very good for me to give as an example because the data is not big and it's not small. So I usually, so we have here, as you can see, 5 countries. Let's try using the pop. Sorry guys, I use a different thing. So you should tell me that's not actually a set. Now it's a set. Countries.pop. Because I'm a bit confused here which one is going to remove because it doesn't have any order, and as you can see, it just removed one country, and actually Denmark was removed. So it doesn't just and I have to modify this, remove the last element from the set, because it didn't make sense for me. That's why. So it just removed one element, okay? But you never know which element going to be removed. So whenever you are using a list, using pop is a kind of, now we don't know. For instance, if I run again this, let's see. Again, actually, Denmark is removed. Yeah, no, okay, I have to, how pop works in Python. Set. Yeah, that's what I know. Have you seen the pop method removes a random item from the set? So, yep, I don't recommend it, so because you never know what you are removing, right? Okay, great. So I will also modify this one because it didn't make sense for me too. And then if you want to clear the set, you just say clear. So if you write clear, then you will get an empty set. Deleting a set, but this one, if you want to just delete everything, you say delete for then a set. Yeah, this one. Usually I write the syntax and then an example. Converting list to set. Yeah, most of the time we do this, guys. We convert a list to a set to list, and different form, and that's very common. So now let's change this countries to a list. So it's easy. Countries list, because just to make the two variables different, you write list and countries. And if you print this out, print countries list, and let's write it down. Have you seen? I love list. Yeah, list is a very, very good kind of data structure which allows you to solve lots of problems. So it's common to change your data structures to a list.
I have one question.
Yes.
So what kind of use do you find for these sets?
Oh, well, yes, we will can do that. Oh, you don't have to. Oh, yes. Let's see. For instance, if I ask you, do you remember this? Because I was thinking to give you guys an example, but I mean an exercise. But since you didn't cover some of the topics, I didn't like to. But next week you will have. I want to take you to some data. Where is the country's data? Yeah, the country's data. Now I want you to figure out in this data, in this JSON file, to count the number of countries in the world. Yeah. For instance, if you see in Afghanistan, they have Pashto, Uzbek, and Turkmen. There are 3 languages, right? Okay, so you count these countries as 3, but now when you come to Åland Island, there will be some language. It could be Swedish. You count Swedish. Now we have 4 languages, but in some places, some language will repeat. English, for instance, you will get English 45 times, but you don't count it 45 times. You just count it once because it's just an English. And you may get also French many times. You may get Spanish many times. You may get Arabic many times. So in that case, actually, set is very good to remove the repetition of an item or a value. Yeah. So to remove repetition, did you get the point? Of course, you can use different method to solve that problem, but with the set, it's so easy to solve that problem. I could show you somehow this, but I want to give you guys to solve this by yourself. And yeah, so try to understand the data structure of this. As you can see, it has countries and then a capital city and the language. I may also ask you to sort the population, the 10 most populated countries using a Python. Okay, the 10 most populated countries. This could be your assignment. So maybe what are the 10 most populated countries? The countries data .json file. What are the 10 most spoken countries in the world?
I guess you mean languages?
Oh, thank you. What are 10 most spoken languages in the world based on the countries data.json file? How many languages are there in the countries data.json file? This is pretty enough question.
Have we learned to parse this JSON notation with Python?
You've been working?
Have you taught us how to parse?
No, I will show you, but I will show you that. Yeah, I will show you, but you don't have to parse it. Do you remember last week? We access the countries like this, just as in a file. You store it like this without,
Yes.
and you can just access it like in a date, like as a variable. We will learn parsing when we will start file handling. Okay. We
Okay.
have another section that's file handling, parsing the CSV, this different file format, because it makes difficult for students to yeah. So I will keep the parsing later. But what you can do, actually, it's not very difficult, and even I can do for you now. So you just take, where is this? You just copy this like this all the way down. It's a very huge data. And I call it also just .py, and then countries, just store it like this. This is good. Have you seen? And then you can just import it in one of the file. Just to import, if you remember how we imported last week, I will just was it in the loops or where was it? We have been importing that at some point, right? But you can do the importing again now here. Yeah, so just import.
From countries data,
From
import countries data or countries.
from
Countries data from the file.
yes, from countries data.
Import
countries.
the name of the list.
Yes, I think it's better if we make it just countries, or as in like this. From countries, import countries. Let's try this. No module named countries data. Countries dot countries. Is there any typo here? I don't see any typo. Okay, let's have how do I import last week?
Was in loops.
Was it?
In loops, yeah.
No, from countries, import countries. That's how we did. From countries data import countries. Let me see how we also Are they at the same? Oh yeah, this is outside, that's why. I see. So I have to put this inside. Yeah, guys, so it was not at the same level. Then print countries. Okay, what's here? From. Let's just import unexpected token countries. Why? Import. Okay. No, it looks somehow okay. Yeah. Now it looks okay. Look. Countries. Yeah, now it's printing it. I don't know, something was happening anyway. So now we can do like instead of importing like this, you can import it. Import from countries. Import. This has. Did I make a typo? At least we managed to print like this, as you can see. By the way, we have also this import print p print. Print is actually has just, have you seen now? It's hard to read this one. So how to import p print. I can go here. Import p print and then okay, p print. Actually, it's just p print. Yeah. So instead of just this, just we can say p print, and it will be very good looking actually. No? What happened? Import p print. Oh. Yes, here import pprint. Okay, let's see from here. Yes. Yes, I think this is what I know. From P in this one, from pprint, there's another module, so we can, yeah, the same module. I will teach you how to, but now we just make use of how to make things look good. But yeah, have you seen, just to make it like in a beautiful, this means actually pretty print. So now it's easy to read than when it's everything. For some reason, when I am just trying to import the countries, I was getting the module, but you can import it something like this, and you can work from that. And we will learn modules separately. Now it's hard for me to mix and talk about module, so I can't teach module now, but we managed to import it. You can just use this code to work on, okay? Then even I can just put that in a separate file, assignment.py, and I put the code also there for you. And then I'll push it to GitHub. Okay, where were? Okay, use case, you asked me about use case, and we spent quite a lot of time, but it's okay. Yes, been converting list to set. Yeah, you can also change. Yeah, actually, that's the use case. Okay, now let's talk about converting numbers. Numbers, you have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 2, and 4, and again 4. How many elements do you have here? Numbers, we changed to set, and a new set. As you can see, I have here, I don't know, 3, and then 6, 9, right? But how many distinct elements do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The rest are repetition. So what you can do is actually numbers. And now you change it to, if you saw, that means it help you to remove duplicates. Remove duplicates. No, sorry, numbers set. Let's see what you get. Have you seen? It's beautiful, right? Have you seen the importance now?
Yeah, that's a good use case.
Yeah. And your example is also language. Let's go. Where is Finnish spoken? In Finland. Where is another? Sweden. Sweden again, we can say Finnish. Maybe another, maybe in Estonia, again Finnish. Okay, how about Swedish? Where is it going to be speaking in Sweden? And that we get Swedish. And then in Finland, Swedish. And in Holland, Swedish. Okay, but if we want to write English, where is going to be spoken in English? In England, in USA, how many? Actually, we are going to write this how many times? 90 times. So in that case, this kind of removing duplicates, but we want to count the language itself, right? We don't care about how, but we are interested in the unique language. So it will help us to know how many languages do you see here?
For
Yes, for. Yeah, that's the use case. So here, that's the same you go. Pashto, for instance, if you count it here, you don't count it to the second country or the third country. Great. That's another use case. Joining states. To join a state, that means union, the first state, union, the second state. Yeah. And yeah, for instance, I have this fruits and vegetable, and then union, fruit, union, vegetable. It gives you fruit and vegetable anyway. So a list of this. We don't have to do that. Update this. Update. Yeah. So it's insert item to the set. For instance, you can update this one, set 1, update set 2. So all this will be part of this. Maybe even I can show you how it looks like. It's the syntax, but we don't have to change it. That still works. Item 5. So if you run now, print S1, it's updated up to, have you seen, 8. So it's like,
but one comment, you have to be very careful, because if you try to update a set, for example, with a string, then it makes a total mess of it.
for instance,
Like you put st1 update, and then you put, for example, item 10.
item 10, yes.
Yes. And then print st1. So you can see you get these separate letters from the item 10.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I got you. Yeah. No, this is not, yeah. Guys, have you understood what he said? Don't update like this. So you should update it like this, as in a set. Yeah, it should be updated like this. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, that's your point, right?
Yes.
Great. That's a very good point. Yes. Yeah, guys, as he said, when, for instance, when we add item, we just add the item, but when we update, it should be in the form of a set. Yeah, that's true. Great. Then find intersection items. So to get the intersection between set 1 and set 2, you just do this. Yeah, that's not very, so the example is here. As you can see, the intersection of Python and Dragon. Yes, and so so I just change the word of Python, the letters of the Python and Dragon, and you can see there are some intersections here. Anyway, check subset and super subset, and you can also check the subset and super subset of some sets. You can go through this. I think we are going to detail, and this it sound even more mathematics class, but you don't have to also. But I recommend you, if you want, if you are serious, so you may also check this. What is disjoint set, symmetric difference, union. Yeah, I just put it this here for some people who wants to go detail. Yeah, but it's just a very minor thing here. Good, I think we should get done for the set part. Are you satisfied with the set? Before we move on to tuples. Tuples is short. How is the set? Did you get it? Okay, great. Then let's get a 10 minutes break. And then after the break, we learn tuples and dictionary. And then after that, we will have another break. Yes, guys, see you after 10 minutes. Okay, let's get back. I hope it's recording. So, in the first session, we learned about set, and now we're going to talk about tuples. Yeah. What is a tuple actually? Tuple is less complicated because you don't do much because it's immutable. Let's read this sentence together because it's really important. A tuple is a collection of different data types. The data type could be anything, any kind of data type, which is ordered, okay? It has ordered and unchangeable. You can't change the tuple, okay? Once if it's created, it's immutable, okay? That is one of the characteristics of tuple. Tuples are written with round brackets like this. Once a tuple is created, we cannot change its value. We cannot use add, insert, remove methods in a tuple because it's not modifiable. It's not mutable. It's nice. So less work, right? Unlike list, tuple has few methods. Just tuple to create a new tuple or an empty tuple, count to count the items, index to find the index of that tuple element. So let's create a file, we call it tuples.py, and let's create. Maybe tuples are immutables. That means non-modifiable. Once it's created, just it will remain like that. You can't add or remove. So this is how you create an empty tuple, either using this or using this. Yeah, maybe if you want the tuple, don't write tuples. This is reserved word already. So maybe tuple, it's common to use T and P, and then you can say tuple. So now you are actually creating an empty tuple. You can just print what you have, and let's see. An empty tuple, okay, great. To know the lengths, tuple, what are you expecting from this statement, from this? Yeah, zero, of course. And then, but if you want to add something, 1, 2, 3, you can create, actually, we don't create something like that. Sorry, we can just numbers, and then you can create 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Yeah, this is enough. So print numbers, and now you see the tuples. Yeah. Then print the lengths of tuple, not tuple numbers. And if you see 3, yeah, great. How many times do we have 3 in this tuple? How many times? We can count it actually. Tell me how many times do we have? Numbers.count.
Just once.
Once. So it should be once. Yeah, as you can see, it's once. But now if I just change my mind, and if I want to have many 3s, and if I have also 3 here, how many 3s are we going to have here? 4, right? Yeah, 4. Great. So we can also count the item, how many times that item occurs in that Actually, the count, you can also use a count to check something. For instance, let's just write a country. We can use Finland. So I think Finland, for some reason, all the words are the same. Country, maybe Afghanistan. Yeah, at least in Afghanistan we have two N, we have two A, actually it's 3A, but for instance, print country.count A. So I'm expecting 2 actually. So the point here is actually you can use the count in a string too. For instance, N. As you can see, we have 2 times. Yeah, it's not only for tuples. Count can be used also with strings. We check this. Here's a tuple of bananas, and we checked. Actually, we can. It has an index, as you can see. It starts from 0 to the last index, and we get the value the same as list. It works almost the same as list, so I don't have to. And if you want to also come from the right, this is the -1, -2, -3, -4. -4 means now actually is the first one. You can get the banana. -3 means orange. Slicing tuples, it's the same as slicing a list, so it's the same. Yeah, but just to remind you, let's do again countries. Yeah, countries, Finland and Sweden. I think why I'm writing this all over again, I can have it somewhere here and change it to what I can change this to, a bracket. But now I may add Estonia and Russia. Yeah, these countries, as you can see now, these countries, they have something in common up to here, so I think they are Nordic countries. So you can slice them out, Nordic countries, and I can say countries, slice. This is how you slice from 0 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it doesn't include the 5th index. So 0, 2. Now let's see, print Nordic countries, and we should get, have you seen now? We sliced out. Maybe if you don't want this one, or if you want to just slice out the non-Nordic countries, call them non-Nordic. Nordic. And then again, countries, and you can start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just 5, and up to the end is just, you don't have to, you just leave empty this, and you can get some up to the end. Print Nordic, non-Nordic countries, and as you can see, Estonia and Russia. Or you can also slice it from -1, -2, -2. Have you seen? You got the same thing. You can also do this the negative way, I mean from this. So -1, -2, -3. Yeah, but you don't have to do that way, but both are possible. So it's the same as list, changing tuples to list. Oh yeah, let's change this to a list. Countries list, and then list countries, because this is a tuple, and now print countries. Have you seen a very nice list? Great. Checking an item in a list, yeah, to check. It's good to check if an item is there. So we use an item followed by the in. It's membership to check if some item is a member of.
Should it be a tuple? Checking an item in the tuple?
What?
The title, changing an item in a list, or should it be checking an item in a tuple?
Oh yes, this is yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So I made this content once and I didn't go through that. Yes, you're right. It has to be corrected. I will. Maybe I have to take note here because yeah. Noticed. Thank you so much. So checking an item in a tuple, that's it has to be corrected. So now, but the example is okay. Now we can check if an item exists or not in a tuple is also, this should be using in, and it returns a boolean, that means true or false. Joining tuples, to join a tuples, just we can use plus, the same as the list. We have, for instance, fruits and vegetables, and then we just join them and we get a fruit and vegetable, yeah. Deleting, just use the delete operator here and then call the tuple you want to delete. Yeah, that's all about tuples. What did we learn about tuples? It's ordered, it has index, it's somehow similar to list, but you don't modify it, okay? Once if it's created, it is created, but you can destroy it. I mean, if you want to destroy it, you can just delete it, but you can't modify the content. What does that really mean? For instance, this has 4 items. Then that means it will have 4 items from the beginning to the end. You can't modify it. You can't remove banana, or you can't add an apple. So that means this is immutable, you can't modify. Is it clear, guys? Okay, great. So now let's move to dictionary. Haha, that sounds very good, right? Dictionary. So when you hear the word dictionary, I think it may come to mind that there should be a word in one language and then the meaning, right? For instance, if it's a Finnish, then the Finnish word to maybe Swedish or English, right? Then this is a dictionary. So that means there's a key and a value. So in this section, we learn about the dictionary. So let's see, there's a very short definition of dictionary. A dictionary is a collection of unordered. Again, unordered. Where did you hear this unordered before? We mentioned one of the data structure unordered, like actually set is unordered also. Modifiable or mutable, paired key value data types. So a dictionary is a collection of unordered, modifiable, or mutable, paired. It should be a paired all the time. When you write it, there should be a pair, key value data types. Creating a dictionary, to create a dictionary, we use curly brackets. These curly brackets similar to set, but in here, actually, it should be key value. Yeah, this is empty dictionary. Yeah, if you want, or let's first create a file, dictionaries.py. Dictionary is a key value, collection of key value. Dictionary is a collection of key value. Yeah. So empty dict or dictionary. We can write something like this, or you can write it something yeah, like this. Dict, empty, another empty, dict, dictionary 2. These both are empty. Yeah, what does that mean? Pair. For instance, let's pair something. I'm about to make a pair, okay? So, and you will identify that by yourself. Stockholm. I'm not sure if I make it right anyway. Norway. That's so easy. Do you notice, is there something paired here, guys? There's a pair of something. Who could tell me this? What pair is it?
Is the countries and the capitals?
Yes, that's so. Dictionary is something like this. So all the time when dictionary comes to mind, you should remember that it's a pair of something. In this case, for instance, we make a pair of countries and its capital city. It could be a country and a population, a country and its language. It could be anything. So we can make relation, that relation, the key and the value. Yeah, great. So, and you can, of course, you don't leave it like that. Countries, city, or something. You have to store it, right? So this is a dictionary, actually. Yeah. So I gave already a very good example here. And this is a person, actually. And then I will just show you. But remember, in both sides, it should be string, okay? It should be really a string. I will just write for this. Now, instead of like country, I can make, what's the name of the country? Tell me. And now just let's focus on Finland. What's the name of the country? Finland. The city? Of course.
Helsinki, the one and only.
Helsinki. And population? It could be, I don't know, 5 million. Or just, let's make it more, 6 million. I don't know if this number is 6. I think there's extra number. Population and language. Okay, language. So I can say Suomi or Finnish, but I think now you know, guys, as you can see now, actually in Finland there are more language than Finnish, right? There is maybe Sami, there's Swedish, right? So instead of saying language, How about if I just say it language? Yeah, does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes, and instead of just also writing this, how about if I change it to a list of the languages? The Finnish and Swedish, and maybe if there's a Sami, and I don't know, I'm just making example here. Now we have a list of yeah. Then now, as you get this, a dictionary for a country, name Finland, city, Helsinki, population, languages. What else can we mention? Universities. Then if you say universities, I think in Finland there are a few universities, so we can even list them down. Helsinki University, Aalto University, University, and the list goes, right? Yeah, something like that. So does it make sense, guys? Dictionary, can you relate with something? It's just a map of some key and a value, and it's a very nice way of structuring data. Okay, I will take you to somewhere to the data we create actually. This one, if I just take you all the way up, there is a list. Inside this list, we have countries. Have you seen this country? Name Afghanistan, capital Kabul, language like this Pashto, Uzbek, and the population, and the flag, and a URL, as you can see, it's already highlighted, and the currency, they put it in Afghan, it could be a string, or it could be a list, depends on the number of currency they have. So have you seen, it's a very good way of structuring your data. Usually a dictionary with a list is a very common format, and it's a very good data structure. Yeah, great. Let's get back. So this is one example. Another very good example, I don't have to rewrite, this is I think let me just paste it here. That is as a person name, first name, it's my name, my last name, and my age, and my country, and marital status. As have you seen, it takes also a boolean, and the skills, it takes, as you can see, a list, and address, as you can see, I live in a space street, and this is the zip code. Yeah. Why do I say this? Oh, I forgot to add this. So it needs here also correction. Yeah, great. Can you, now I have a question. Can you make any kind of dictionary after this? Did you manage to see the structure of a dictionary?
Yes.
Yes, write to me that magical one, and then it makes me feel good. Okay, great. Everybody knows how to make a dictionary. Now you know the format of a dictionary and you know how to make a dictionary. Now let's move on to manipulate the dictionary. Can we find the length? Yes, we can find the length. For instance, let's check the empty dictionary. The length of the empty dictionary. Yes, empty dict. Then, as you can see, I was expecting something. Oh, I didn't write length. Length. Okay, so as you can see, it is 0. How about this? Print country, lengths. Let's check. As you can see, 5 in the Finland. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you count this pair as 1, okay? As 1. If you see this person, lane and person, I think there's lots of data. 7. Okay, good. Now we know how to count the length. Okay, then accessing dictionary items. Yeah, one of the thing is accessing. Now let's go to the Finland, because if I ask you, what's the capital city of Finland? So you go to, hey, print. Of course, you don't have to print it. You just country, and then you do this and city. And then you can print to know the value. Where is? Yeah, it's Helsinki. Even to know also what country you're dealing with, country, and the name of the country. Even have you seen our naming is really very good. Very good names, as you can see. Just until you get very familiar with coding, imitate or mimic what others do. So I'm very happy with the naming that we have here. It's a very clean code, clean and beautiful code, I would say. So then population, print country, and then population. Yeah, it goes. How about if I want you to ask how many languages are in Finland? How many languages are spoken in Finland? So you go print language, countries, and then language. First, you have to get the list and then the links. So I'm expecting 3. Sometimes when you print something like this, it's hard where these numbers or these values are coming. So it's good to add, yeah, the name of the country, for instance. I can say, no, the links, the length. Add some kind of label. I call it label. The name of the country. The city of the country, the population of the country. Yeah, so if you do something like this, then you don't get confused because you know where that's coming from. Have you seen the language of the country is 5, the name of the country, Finland, the city of the country, Helsinki, the population of the country is this. And this number, even you don't know where it comes, number of languages, the number of the language. Yeah, something like that. Yes, the languages are 3. Great, now we know some of the methods. How about if we check other, now we know how to access values, as you can see. Let's, yeah, trying to access something which is not there, yeah? Let's try to access, in Finland, for instance, we don't have yeah, but I think it's hard to get, but let's deal with this person. Instead of the country, let's do to person. For instance, this person doesn't have any nationality. How about if I try to, of course, I can get the person name because I can see that he has first name. And let's see, his name's Sabine. But as you can see, there is no nationality. And if I try to print person nationality, Yeah, again, I found this error. Yeah. So if the key is not in the dictionary, so it raises an error. So what you should do again, we have to use the membership checking. So nationality, if nationality in person, do this. Now it's not breaking. It's not breaking. But as you can see, if I change this to something else, now, yeah, we will deal with that later. So actually, instead of just this method, this way of accessing, we can use the gate. Okay. Person dot gate first name. This should give my first name. Print. As you can see, it gave my first name. How about if I change this to nationality? Nationality. Yeah, it doesn't break. Your code doesn't crash, but it gives you none. So sometimes you may prefer to use gate instead of this kind of thing to avoid this step. Anyway, it's somehow the same, but it's good to know there is gate also to access each values. Okay, adding items to a dictionary. Yeah, you can just create, for instance, Asaben didn't have a nationality in this here, so now we can create a nationality. Okay, let's create a nationality. Person, nationality, and then you give it a nationality, Ethiopian. Yeah, great. Then you just have now, this line of code is now running. Have you seen? It's running because I have a nationality now. Great. So what else can we add for Finland, for instance? Can you give me some example to add some additional key value? Country, number of lakes. Number of lakes. Thank you, guys. At least you should come with some example. Tell me the number of lakes. Maybe it's more than the population of Finland, right? Okay, but I heard it's quite a lot, I tell you. And if you just go to Google, you may get really quite a lot of. So who could give me a number for this? Just drop some number on the chat, the number of lakes on in Finland.
60,000.
Oh, 50,000?
Something like that.
Oh, but Google says something different. I go for Kali. Yes, Kali said that. Yes. Okay, that's crazy. Now, if you check the country Finland now, print country. So let's check. Have you seen name Finland? Number of lakes. Yeah. So we modified it. We added one key value for Finland also. Great. So adding item to a dictionary, I think it's clear for you. Modifying item in a dictionary. Yeah. But I can modify, for instance, let me modify the dictionary. And shall we make it a bit complicated? Can we add Russia or some other language here just for sake of modifying this dictionary?
Yes.
Okay, because that's a bit, so this is how we modify it. Country, yes, and then language. No. Language. So what we get, then we get this one. And then again, we write this actually like this, and then dot append Russia. Okay, first before I run, does this make sense, guys?
No.
Okay, how about this?
Yes.
Great. Yeah, this makes sense. Let's see, print country. Have you seen guys here? So Russia is included in the list. Yeah. And also, yeah, did I, last time I showed you this printing in a beautiful way. You can see from p print, import p print, especially dictionaries really not very good when you just print it on here. So, but now let's print Finland again in a more beautiful way, p print. Yeah. Yes, have you seen now? City Helsinki language are this the Suomi, Swedish, Sami, and Russian, and Finland number of likes this much population, universities, Helsinki University, Aalto University, and so on. Okay, modifying items. So we modify items. Maybe I think we can also modify other items. Maybe the population, it seems very big. So let's make that population a bit smaller. Okay. And it's just for sake of learning, we do this, and the country and population, and it's sound for me, just I can put 7, 6, maybe 0, 0. What number do I see? Is it a right number, guys, or is that too much number? 1. Right.
Okay.
Yes, that's good, right?
Yes.
Some kind of good number. Now, as you can see, we modify the population. Correct. So these numbers are random. I don't have any exact number, but just I come up with some random example to make my teaching somehow easy, but it's not a factual data. Don't take my data seriously. No, don't take it, because it's not only just for you, for people who may listen this at some point, they may take this data as accurate data. No. It might be closer to, but it's not accurate data. Okay, we can modify items in a dictionary, and we did actually checking a case in a dictionary. And we actually checked this already, for instance, the case of the nationality, and we don't have to deal with that again. Removing key and value pairs from a dictionary, right? Pop and the key removes the item with a specified key name. For instance, who cares about the number of legs, right? No one cares. Yeah, some cares, but as I said again, let's just country.pop and the number of legs. Don't use such kind of key names, okay? Don't use such kind of key names. This is you may get sometimes from API such kind of key names like with space, and also I used here just to make you familiar that some lazy programmers may write it that way, but I don't really like it. It should be like this, at least number of legs, even if just say that number of legs, and then Okay, again, so number of legs. So number of legs, now it will be popped out. And if we check the print, P, I think P print is good, P print, and the country Finland. And if we run this, I think we may not see 1. Yeah, there is no any legs here. Great. So pop with the key, it removes that item, but pop item removes the last item. Okay, what does that mean? Pop item here, even I am a bit, because in dictionary we don't have any order. Remove the last item from a dictionary. Okay, let's for instance, from this data, let's use pop item. Pop item, of course, person.pop. Yes, this. And then if I just check this one, actually it just gave me the removed item right away. The removed item was nationality and Ethiopia, yes, the one which is added at the end. If you remember, we added the nationality here. Let's just make it, let's add comment for now, and let's try it again. Yes, it is removing the last item actually from here. Yeah, have you seen? It's removing the last item, but something which I was a bit unsure is like, because it doesn't have order. Let me check again. P print and person. Let me show you before removing anything.
But you can use, for example, the pop method and then a key. Like
Yeah, we used that. We used already.
Okay.
The pop method and the key we have used already. So we have used it here, right? Now we don't have any problem with that, but this one removes the last item. Yeah, it removes, but when we are dealing with dictionary, there is no order. And which
So
one? The last.
there is no last item. There is no last item.
Yeah, there is no last. There's no the Soterme last item, so that's why even in W3 school they mentioned it, like it removed this method. It's the last item. Oh, is that the pop? Let me check. Pop item. Remove the last item from a dictionary. Yeah, and that's what it says here also. The pop item method remove the item that was last. Okay, last inserted into the dictionary. Okay, even there is. Have you seen in version before 3.7, the pop item method removes a random item. Okay, so last inserted, but it's a bit Anyway, as you can see, it is, even though there's no order, now if it's removing this one, the last. Let's imagine we don't have this, and let's check if it's removing MongoDB, then it's removing the last item. Then what? Yeah, it's removing the last item. As you can see, it's removing the skills. Yeah, as in a tuple. And if you check the person item, and the person item will have just only have you seen? Oh, but we have to print the person item. Print person here, and it should be as you can see, we removed. So even though it doesn't have any order, but physically, as you can see, it's arranged like this. So it removes the last item. Yeah, it definitely removed the last item. Changing a dictionary to a list of items. That's great. Yeah. So we don't need this. We can undo this one also. Let's uncomment, and we don't delete items from here. Now I want to change this to list of items to a list actually. Then what you should do, person data list, person data list, and I just call it list, and I call that person, and he will be here inside. Yeah, wrapped, feeling warm and cozy inside a list. Let's just print person data list, and then you just print out, and you will see a very beautiful thing. But have you noticed something?
It's only the keys.
Yeah, just only the keys. So that means you are losing data. Instead, list, there's the method list item. I think item list or item. Yes, I can check it there. Or that what is the method? We have items to items actually. Items will change it to a kind of list of tuples. Items is not defined.
It is. Sorry, it's. You have to put person.items.
Yeah, that's true. That it's a method.
Yeah.
Person.items. So it has to be like that. Now, if you see, again, if you want to make this beautiful when you are printing, add P, and it will be easy to read. I didn't make it that much easy to be read. As you can see now, still what you see is actually is a dict item. It's not actually yet a list, but it is iterable. You can iterate this. For instance, for item in person, now I can call this items actually, items. Items, and then print item. You may get some kind of values, but what is that? I don't have this anymore. Or maybe I can just change it to items. Now, have you seen? Nice. So what data type is it, guys? I want you to tell me what kind of data type is it?
Tuple.
A tuple. Yes, great. So now, as you can see, the values are actually like coming like this. So you can even go 0 and item 1, you can just get like this. There's sound. You can mute the mic, guys. But even another way, you can destructure it here. Key value, just or any word here, and it's possible to just key value, and you can just get it like this first.
You can also, if you want these items to be a genuine list, you can
Change it to a
just
list.
you can put the list.
Yes.
Yes.
You mean changing it to a list, a genuine list?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's also true. And now, yeah, what he mentioned, that as you can see now, this is just a real, it's not a dict item, but instead it's a proper list. You can change it. So now we are chaining methods. As you can see, we have there a method, and then we put this value, no, undo that, inside a list built-in function. Is it thing clear, guys? Let's be sure. Guys, when it comes to this background noise, it's very disturbing, so you be sure that you mute the mic. Okay. Items, so clearing a dictionary. So to clear, you can use just the clear method, and it will clear it up, and you get none. Deleting a dictionary, you can use delete operator. Again, it removes. Copy. Why we copy items? Who can say something about this? Why you need to copy? I have been talking about this during list lesson. Why you need copying? Because if you don't want to modify the original data, you want to have a copy. You want to work on the copy, not the original. Yeah. So to copy, you just dictionary and copy. Then you have a copy, and you can work on the copy instead of the original. And then actually getting dictionary key values. Yeah, that is another one. For instance, I just let's keep this one as it was, but it's okay. Yeah. For instance, if you want to just get the keys, then actually person.keys. This should give us, and if you just print keys, it gives the keys as in a list of, have you seen this? Yeah, and somebody said that if you want to just, as he said, that a genuine list, you can change it to a genuine list, something like, oh, not, I was about to say list, not links, because my, yeah, list of the keywords and values the same way. You can just list and then person and then the values, and then you should get, I forgot E, and then you should get the values. Where are they? I don't see, I didn't print it yet. Print values. Yeah, so yeah, my name, my family name, my age, the country where I live, and if I'm married or not, my skill sets, and the place where I live, that's my address, my nationality. Yeah, great. So everything is here, as you can see. Just what you can do, go through this reading material 1 or 2 times, and everything will be very clear. And the examples are straightforward. I think if you don't have any question, let's have the second break. How about that? And then we will come after 10 minutes. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Welcome back, everybody. So if you have any question before we move to the second part.
So if you could give a short explanation. I mean, not going deep into the matter, but is the Python dictionary notation almost the same as JSON?
Yes, it's almost the same as JSON, but the JSON is kind of a string. So, but the way you write it is somehow the same. For instance, in this case, in the country's case, you don't declare it as in without. For you just remove this, and then it will be I remove it, and then I change this to a JSON file. Now it's a JSON.
Okay.
It's a JSON actually now, but I think I removed this. I should have this. Now it's a JSON. Yeah. Even my VS Code understood that, and it removes all that. This is a very good JSON file now. Now let me just get back for you. This is ZPY, and I think I can add this also, just countries, and it will be the same again. Yeah, so but in detail we will talk about JSON and dictionary separately, and how we change dictionary to a JSON to a dictionary. Yeah, so we will have a separate lesson there.
Fine.
Okay, so as I promised today, we will talk about a set. We have covered set, tuple, we have covered the tuple, dictionary, and we have covered dictionary. Now we are left with higher order functions. Yes. Why they got this fancy name? Why not they just function, but they are called higher order functions? Can you say something about these guys? Say something. I will write this for the group and share on Telegram at the meantime. What's higher order function? Maybe I think it's better if we go and read what it says there. Higher order functions. Yes. In Python, functions are treated as first-class citizens. Oh, such confusing word. First class is, I will come to that. Allowing you to perform the following operation on functions. In C, there is some kind of way of programming or writing code, but in Python, there is no hierarchy. So everything is treated the same. Like functions can be passed as in a variable, as in a value. So as you can see, a function can take one or more function as the parameters. So that means functions can be passed as parameters. Functions can be returned as a result of another function. We can return function. A function can be modified, function can be assigned to a variable. So this makes them like this higher order function, especially this one and this one. So a higher order function is a function that can take another function as a parameter, or a higher order is a function that return another function as a result. Yep, based on this definition, I will take you to here. A higher order functions dot py. Yeah, so let's do some function. Maybe def make a square. Make a square. Here I have. Then if I can say return n times n. I think everybody knows what this function is doing, right? Yeah, first I have to be sure that if you remember, if you remember function, does everybody know how to make function now? Yes. Okay, great. So if not, I have to explain. This actually make things square, numbers square. So print make square of 3 and it should give us 9. Yeah, 9. So this is just a very simple function. How about cube? Do you know a cube? Cube is actually multiplying something. For instance, 2 times 2 times 2. Is this a cube, right? Kind of. Then def make or a cube. I can just cube. Just take return and this. So print cube. How about the cube of 8? That means actually to the power of 3. Please help me. What's the result for this? It should be 8. Print cube, or what is this? Oh, it means just 4 times 4 times 4, because as you can see you have. Oh, what's the value of this, guys? I want to know.
64.
Yeah, 64. Yeah, so these are simple. Maybe, for instance, I can make use of the square function to do this calculation. So I can say actually here instead, it can just get a callback and end. So, and this callback, what it does actually, callback, I will talk about the callback, n times n. Because a square is actually, you multiply it 2 times and you are left with 1 time. So you have to multiply it with another multiplication. So you have the square already, and then when you multiply it additionally once, then you get the cube. So how do you use this? Then I think instead then make a square, and then if I pass 4, now it should give me the same value. Oh, missing value. What? Missing one. Oh yeah, this is not any more valid, yes. As you can see, it gave me 64. Now this cube function is taking another function, this function as a parameter, and it call it inside here. And then after it's called, after it's invoked, it's multiplied by the same parameter. So it gives you the same result. So this, we call this a higher order function because it is taking another function, this callback, so as in a parameter. Does it make sense, guys? By the way, this is just a placeholder instead. I am a function placeholder, maybe. Func placeholder, and then we call it in JavaScript callback, and it's just make it confusing maybe for you. Place, it doesn't matter, but it should work. As you can see, still it should work, but we can call it this maybe. I can even make func and a function. What do you think, guys? Did you get what I'm doing here? Yeah, we call it called me back. When you pass it as an argument here, you don't pass anything, but you call it back here when you are returning. Yeah. So when you are returning it. Oh, sorry. So this is one kind of, because the definition, if you have seen that, we said that a function can take one or more function as a parameter. So, and a function can be returned as a result of another function. Let's do that. I think I did this. This is the same as what I did, but you can go through this one. Function as a return value. We have, for instance, this function. And this function. Oh, that's very beautiful. I will just copy this one. I made this at some point, and I will read for you. And you know this, the purpose of this function, right? So it makes square, and it makes, since we finished with this one, let me comment. You have this, and you have this. And this also changes actually if a number is greater than or equal to 0, it just returns 0. Else it changes to, it makes absolute value. Yeah, but still this lacks one thing. Else, yeah, it is actually. Yeah, if x is greater than or equal to 0, it returns the value. If not, then it changes to, it multiplies by -1, so it is absolute value. By the way, there's already a built-in function, absolute value, absolute, yeah? But you know, sometimes, yeah, okay, we can write something like this. So how many functions do we have here? Up to here, how many functions do you see in your eyes?
3.
Yes, 3 functions, that's great. Now we want to create another higher order function here. I just copy this and put it here. Actually, this def higher order function type, I called it a type. And then if type is a square, return the square function. Else, if the type is cube, return the cube function. Else type is the absolute, return the absolute function. So let's do a higher print a higher order function. So what do you like to do now? Do you like to make square or what? And even you don't have to write this separately. Oh no, undo. You can put these values inside the higher order function itself, inside here. But you know, you should work on the indentation, and this should be indented properly. And this seems also distorted. What did I do? This even doesn't seem right at all, but I have to go and bring it properly, this part. Yeah, now this should be also again has to be indented properly. And now we have this function, this the string function, and now we want to return one of the functions. What's happening here? Oh yeah, I forgot to read this. Yeah, great. So if type is a square, if the user say type square, then it returns. And actually now we have to also pass some number. And so I'm modifying that thing, but I think we don't need. No, we don't need. Yeah. So if you say type square, then you get something. Let's print this. Actually, when you are writing type square, you are returning the square, but after that, you have to use something like this. And if I write 3, I think it should 9. Have you seen? And if you just change to 10, it should be 100. Instead of square, if I change it to cube, the cube of 10, I think it's going to be 10 by 10, 1,000, something like that. Yes. And absolute value, you can change it to an absolute value of -10, and we should get 10. So have you seen this? Just now we got a machine which can do square, cube, and absolute value. So what it does actually, we have this function, square function, a cube function, an absolute value function. Then we use if condition to check, and then when a user changes this value, we execute the different functions. Yeah, because we are returning the different functions based on different conditions. And I think you can also go through this one. It's a bit different. Now I modified it a bit. Maybe at some point I prefer the example I gave you now. These functions should be wrapped inside this. Yeah. What do you think? Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay, now I have this Python closure and Python decorators. They are a bit tricky concepts. I will leave them for now, but I will just go all the way down and talk about built-in higher order functions. And they are really very handy. And we will talk about map, filter, and reduce. What is mapping means? For instance, if I ask you, I have a numbers. I want you to make a function which return the square of these numbers. The square of these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the square of these numbers is going to be, the value is going to be 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25. So I want you to create a function which when you give a list, and it should produce this. Okay, let's do that function. So I call it I'm running out of a name. Make a square list of modify list for the time being, okay? Because we're modifying a list. Modify list, and it takes a list value, okay? And then first we have to iterate through the list. Item in list, and then print, because we have to see what's happening, right, guys? And then let's call this function print modify list, and I'm calling my numbers this one. As you can see, I managed to print them out, yeah? So, but the purpose is actually to multiply them like this, yeah? Now I am I'm making them square, so then I think I have to declare an empty list here. New list. I can just make it short, new list, and then I can just make it empty for the time being. And instead of just printing this out, actually you can just say new list and then append every time. And then outside the loop, you return the new list, because the new list is now populated with the new data, the square value. Okay, did we get the desired output we were looking for?
Yes, almost. Because there is an error in the desired output.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Is that what you saw?
Yes.
0, actually, no, there was 0, 1, and then this is...
Deletes the 2.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. You know, my students usually help me when I make such kind of mistakes. Great. Yeah. Guys, did you follow this? It's the same as the previous different assignments I gave. Now we love the countries. Don't you love? Especially those countries? Yes, these countries. Let's modify these countries again. Okay, I want you to modify these countries, and then actually the output I'm looking for now, but first, as someone said already, decent, or what was the other word? I forgot the other word. Yeah, normal list, okay? So these countries, usually Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Iceland, we modify. So the output I want you now to do is actually, this is how you do. Finland, and then what is this? How many? 6? Oh, 7. 7, and it goes for Sweden too. Sweden, I think, is that? Or is that, oh, what's the Swedish shorter name? I think it should be Sway. And then it's going to be 7, 6. So you finish. Yeah, I'm not going to write manually, you know. I write the code much faster than doing this. So, but you got the idea, right? So you map what you see here to this, and then I think I will give you 5 minutes. Do you prefer the breaking room, or do you prefer by your to do it by yourself? What do you prefer to do it? I will give you 5 minutes. Okay, then try it by yourself, and then I will. Everybody will return by 18 past 8. Okay, good. I was just talking for myself. Okay. Did you get time to do it, guys? Almost, yes. That's great. Almost is great. Shall we do it together? No worries. I just let's just give it a name. Diff modify countries, and I just give it a list, and then for country in list, or you can just make it item, because in that case you can make your code more reusable for other, because as you can see we do sometimes the same thing, item from list, and then just try to print it out each item first, and you can just do what's happening step by step. Print should be your best friend. Okay, I tell you. Modify countries, and countries we have to, and let's just print it's what's happening. Yeah, we managed to print this out, and then as I told you, just change it to uppercase. Great. Oh, because I forgot to close the parentheses. Yeah, great. And then new list. So we have to append this, right? Instead, I have to append it, a new list, and append this. And let's print the new list every time. If we print the new list, have you seen? The first time it was Finland, and then Sweden was added, and then Denmark was added, and then Norway was added, and at last, what was added? Iceland. Okay, but the structure we need is a bit different, right? It should have a Finland, and then the first 3 were letters or characters, and then the length of the country. Okay. Actually, it's so easy to get. First, you have to change it to upper. Just let's see, print. We have the upper already, then we can slice it, right? Slice from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0 to 3. Yeah, you can slice from a string the way you do in a list. Have you seen now? There are some, I think, where was it? Yeah, Finland, Sweden, then Norway. Nice. Okay, then instead of just writing it there, I can just add it here during the appending process. And instead of appending just one item, we can append actually multiple items like this. Yeah. Now let's see what it looks like. Oh, as you can see, Finland. Now it looks what we need. And what is left is actually the length. The length is so easy, right? So length of the country or the item, sorry. And the item. Now let's see. Wait, it doesn't go down. Yeah, as you can see, now we have everything. What's left? Okay, what is left is actually we don't need to print this out every time. Instead, let's return it. New list. And then now we don't see the printout every. Yeah, this is what we were looking for. Did we get the desired output? Is it the output we were looking for?
Yes.
Yes, great. Now what you learned actually is list of lists. Great. Yeah, now you've been writing your own custom function. Actually, there is a map. Map will allow you just to do out of the box without writing your own thing. So let me show you, for instance, you have this, right? You have a number square. Let's just, I can, yeah, but we have it already. So you have the number here. And to make this square, I think modify list is something. Yeah, so instead, let me see, because it doesn't make our life much easier, because I'm thinking there we have this and we have the square. Yeah. And then you pass this and you get, does it really improve it that much? Yes. Yeah, it improved it much. Yeah. So this is the way we modify the list, this square, but we can actually call def make square. Do we have it somewhere else here? Do we have it already somewhere here? Make square, we don't need it here. Let's create another make square. And this make square, make return and yeah, everybody should know by now how to write this function. So there is this map, actually. Map, it's a function, a higher order function. It takes another function here and a list or a tuple or anything, but it should be iterable. It could be a list or a dictionary or a tuple or a set. So now I can call make function, no, make square, I call it here, and then I call my number. What's the number here? Numbers. So if you store the values here, I call them squares. squares. And console, no, print squares. And let's see if we get the same, because I didn't call that. But I don't have to call that. Do I have to? Yes, you get a map. So actually, you should change it to a list. Yeah, squares. And then what? I forgot to close it. Squares. Have you seen now? We got the value. So which code is shorter? Let's compare, because it seems that we didn't improve it that much, but there's some improvement. Let's compare. This is the code you wrote, or we wrote. This is our own way of doing it, but this is using the map method. We just managed to remove a couple of lines of codes. Which do you prefer, guys?
I don't actually understand what this map function is doing.
Okay, but did you understand this one? The first we wrote?
Yes.
Yes, actually it does the same thing. It changed, for instance, if you see, it gave us the same output. This gives us
Yes.
the same output. How it works, it takes one function, one simple function. It could be a lambda function, for instance. Now you can change it to a lambda function even inside. If you don't need it, why you need that? Let's just change this to a very simple lambda. And now, if you see it even match, which do you prefer, writing all these or writing this to get this value? Have you seen it?
I think you should keep drawing.
Yes. So this is, yeah, this, I managed to write it in just one line of code. Have you seen this? So this is the callback. Last time, I think it was the last week when I was teaching function, and finally we learned about this lambda function. And actually we can call it, we can borrow some terminology from JavaScript, and we can call it anonymous function, a function without name. Yeah. So since it doesn't have a name, so we call it lambda. But in JavaScript, you can write it like without any kind of, and you call it anonymous. And I still call it here anonymous because it doesn't have any name to call, even though we call it, even though it has some keyword lambda, okay? So this allows you to write some shorter code. The reason why I call it anonymous, because we can't call it by name. For instance, this function has a name, and its name is modify list. I can call it by its name. And yeah, so the purpose of map is actually to modify a list. We managed to modify this one. Okay, how can we make use of to do the same for the countries, the modify countries? Can we make it? Can we make use of for that? Yes. Let's do it. I will show you again how much we can shorten. This is what we have. And now, as I told you, modified or countries list. List of, but I can just, anyway, let's say it starts with map. And then we maybe have lambda function, some kind of lambda function. Then instead, let me just func with the iters. The iters now is the countries, as you can see. Then I have to have something which modify my item from this. So I can take this value, this. I can take this value from here, copy. So I think I can change it to lambda in the lambda is going to be an item, and the item is going to be something like this. And let's see what we get from this. What name shall I give it? List countries modified. I can call it just countries modified, or maybe just something like that. Let's see. Sometimes you may not get what you expect, so you don't have to just get everything in one go. You just try it as many times possible. So as I told you, what you get is actually a map, a kind of object. So you have to change it to a list, then a list, and now I have to get something. Yeah, have you seen? I got it. It's crazy, right? Much better and clean. Of course, if you want, you can write this longer code, but as you can see, we just wrote it in one line of code. This is in one line, and also in this case, in one line. Yeah, that's the power of map. Of course, if you can also write this code outside, if you don't like, for instance, you can make this outside. What does that mean? You call a div func, and it just can make it something like this here. And there will be an item, and that item should be returned to something like this. And then I can just, let's just now func. It should give the same result. Yes? Because now this one is somehow, you see just one function, and that function is coming here, and countries. Actually, it modifies just the list. It just replaces one value in this item. It will be replaced this every time when the map is iterating. I don't know how I can explain this, but it's a mapping. For instance, let me just print a for next to this. Print just countries. This mapping means for this is mapped to this. This mapped to this. Denmark is mapped to this list. This string is mapped to this. That's how it goes. How is it, guys? Is it okay? Shall we move on?
Yeah, now it's fine.
Okay, I can imagine for some of you, it may say, but by the way, guys, now we are learning higher level stuff, so don't be surprised if something doesn't sync right away. I strongly recommend you to go through the material, this one at least. You don't have to watch the video, but you can at least go through this. I have everything here. Everything is here. Yeah, I made it in the old good days, so it's just good. I tell you, there. Now then, let's move on to filter. What can you think when you hear the word filter? This is straightforward. Mapping is to map. Filter is to filter out something. Now let's filter out the countries with land, and we don't care for countries without land. That is a very good example, right? It's funny. Oh, yeah. Yes, but it's lucky that Finland and Iceland are or do have lands. So I think our filter should, yeah. So if we write a filter function by ourselves, filter out or find country with land. Yeah, I don't like my function name, but it's okay. Then list, and then I go for item in list, and I could say if land in item, then print it is there. It is there. Okay, now let's try. Then what actually print find countries land and countries, the first one, the non-modified one. So let's try. It is there, it's there, but where? We never know. So let's create a new list. As you can see, there is some pattern of repetition. So don't, then when I just new list, and if it's find there, append it. I append that item. So if it is there, and we don't need this, but now I can return the new list, and I should get Finland and Iceland. And to change this function, countries without land, actually, it doesn't take much. It's without, and then if land not in, not in actually, I think. Yes. Yeah. Python is so human, you know. It sounds like okay, so we have to print out also the other. Have you seen Sweden, Denmark, and Norway? So surprising they don't have land. Okay. Did you get the point, guys? Did you get it?
Yes.
Or we can filter from the numbers, those which are evens and those which are not evens. For instance, filter, Dave filter even numbers. Yeah, it takes a number and 4 in range and plus 1 because it doesn't include the last. Then if I divided by this, or the modulus is equal to 0, then I can print I, and that's actually then print filter even numbers up to, for instance, 20. As you can see, only the fields, yeah, we managed to filter them out. So we can apply to a different way. Okay, now let's use the filter method itself. Okay. Filter takes again the function and the iter. So countries, the original countries, and then because we're a lambda, and the lambda is actually how can we write the lambda? So yes, I think we have to have the item, and then if land, and land in item. I'm not sure if I write it properly, but okay. So then countries 3. I think let's see what we get from this. Country 3 is not defined. I thought I defined it. Why? What's that? Is there a typo here? I think there's a typo. Then what I can do, I just replace it. Yeah, so after that, you should change it to a list. Something like this. Oh, I'm lucky. I managed to get Finland and Iceland. I felt as I got them by luck, but as you can see, it's short. So then just got the other one. Countries without, not in. So then I can just make it 4. So yeah, I don't like such kind of variable names, but now since we are doing some similar task, that's why, yeah. In short way. Oh, great. I think, do you have the gut and the energy to also see the last? That's going to be reduce. And we may take 5 minutes to do this reduce. Shall we do it? Because yes, if everybody's quiet, that means okay, we can do it. Yeah, so we saw map and we saw filter, and now we are about to see reduce. What is reduce means? Let me just give you a very good example. Mango plus papaya plus guava in a blender. What do you get? Tell me, guys. Oh, everybody is silent. Guys, papaya plus mango plus guava in a blender, what do you get?
A smoothie.
Oh yeah, smoothie. Smoothie, or some kind of mix of fruit juice. Yeah, that's, so it's a product. So we had different fruits, but finally we got one. So the purpose of reduce, actually, it changes different items to one. Yeah, because you have to know what's the difference between these things. Map is to map. If you have, for instance, if you have 6 items, you should get 6 items, but it modify the original somehow, like modified version of the list. It doesn't modify the original, but you get a modified version of a copy of that. For instance, this one, we have this, but we got this, something like this. Filter, it's just the filter out from a list. And this reduce change the list to one item. So that means also this, we can change this to sum of or multiplication of this, something like that. That's the concept. But the thing is, we can't get reduce directly, but we have to import it. Import reduce function tools. I think that. So yeah, it was here. Yeah, from function tools import reduce. It's not available globally, so we have to import it from function tools import reduce. Yeah, then we can use this. Then the way you use is the same. Total, because I want to nums 2, 4, 6. What's the total of this? If you want to write the total of this the long way, again, you have to go long way, right? But this is actually, it can be also, you can even use a sum. Is that a sum? Let me see. Print. And sum just do this for us. Yeah, the sum actually do for us. So easy. But multiply, there's no multiplication of these values. Yeah, so in that case, imagine we didn't have sum, so how do we make use of this, the reduce? So let's do that. Reduce again, and then lambda, and then the lambda actually you can have like xy, and then x plus y, and then the nums. So actually x refers to this one, and y, actually instead of xy I could say it accum and cur. I will what it means, because xy is just very neutral, or I could say it current. So it's just, let's be consistent. Accumulator and current. The accumulator, that means now, for instance, the accumulator is 0, 0, the current is 2. 0 plus 2, 2. And then in the accumulator, we have 2. In the accumulator, we have, accumulator starts from 0. And then now, and the current means this value is 2. And then when you sum it up, how is the value? What's the value? 2. So now the accumulator has 2. And it goes, accumulator, how much does it have? 2. And the current, what's the current value? Because it goes to go forward, it's 4. 4. And then it will be totally 6 in the accumulator. And then now the accumulator has 6. But the current value is, tell me the current value. Why there should be someone talking, right? Say something.
6.
Yes, 6. And then the total is going to be 12. I'm just adding this and this. And the accumulator is just accumulating. So this is what we got from the previous. So that means this actually works this way. Yeah. Now we can just keep it by commenting, because it's a very good, it's easy to understand. So nums, but why? Nums, no, okay. We should say this total, and we should print the total. Print total. Yeah, I think we got this total. Is that coming from here or not? As I told you, it's good to, what is the total here? It's good to know. Yeah, we got it. How about if you want to multiply those? Let's multiply it. So product of those number, That means 2 times 4, I can see that. Or 4 by 6, 24 and 48 product, it's enough. So change this to multiplication sign. But I think my value will be 0, but let's see. And product. Oh, now that's great. But in JavaScript, it gives you zero because the accumulator usually starts with an. And so to avoid that, we change, if we are multiplying, we add a value, something like this, and 48 now, yeah? Wow, but how it worked like that? Anyway, so it's, I recommend to add 1 because that means after you multiply, 1 means your starting value is actually here is 1. 1 times 2, 4. 1 times 2, 2. 2 times 4, 8. 8 times 6, 48. But when by default it's 0, so you don't have to add 0 when you are adding, when you are using it for adding. Most of the time, the purpose of reduce is just to change everything to 1. I think we should stop in here. And now you know higher order functions, what it means. And from higher order function also, you know what, for what purpose we use map, filter, and reduce, and you know how to use it. Okay, great. So how was your lesson today? Did you get everything? Let's see. Let's rate our experience. How much did you learn today from 1 to 10? Okay, fair enough. So some people said 8, 9, 7, 6, and 8. So we have some 6 today. I think what I would recommend you to do, back to this and go through the material. And remember to do this exercise for next week. And this. What are we going to learn next week? Okay, I will take you to the outline of this material. Guys, we don't finish this material. If you are expecting that, it's wrong because there's lots of material here, but it's up to you to go and do it. We will see these modules, list comprehension. Maybe it's good if I put it here, you will ask, you will have a chance next week. Lesson, modules, list comprehension. We should get a bit faster now. I think Python type errors. Python day and time, and type errors is very short, and exception handling. Python time, Python exception. It's short, guys. It doesn't take that much long. That's why I'm writing quite a lot of them. And if we have more time, we may also check a regular expression or data file handling. I think that's what we can add, because I don't know how much time it takes to cover this. Yeah, thank you guys for coming, and I will see you next week. Work on this one, because that's how you know how much you understood the topic. Great. Bye bye.